Hello everybody, this is Orange, and welcome to my Abyss. And in this episode, what I wanted to do was rank all the cures from Precure. And this is mostly because I am still on Precure Brainrot, one of my favorite things ever. I love me some Precure, and I just want to talk about it. I'm using a tier list that I found from Tier Maker. I'll link that in the description. I did, however, change up the the names of the tiers to my faves, of course, being my faves. Great, the characters that I think are great, but they are my faves. Fine, these characters are fine. Meh, meh, and ugh, ugh. And before jumping into this, I want to say, of course, a few things. Firstly, all this is my opinion. I'm probably going to like characters you don't like, and not like characters you don't like. That's totally fine. They are fictional characters, 2D drawings, it's fine. And also, I want to jump out there and say too, I don't actually hate any of the Precure, any of the cures themselves. I actually do like all of them. Like even the ones that end up in the UG tier, I don't think are UG. I don't dislike or have a burning hatred towards. I just think they're UG. And besides, the only Precure characters you should be hating are Blue and Darzan. Just saying. So we're gonna jump into here, and I'll do my best to form my opinions because there are a lot of cures, and some of them might have the same reasons of ending up in tiers that other ones do. And why not start at the beginning with Cure Black? She's the first one. I know Cure White's first tier, but we're going with Cure Black, and with her, it's always hard to place the first one. I do think I'll place her in fine, as well as Cure White too. I do think they both belong here. They work better as a pair than I do think they do individually. I do love both of them. I adore both of them. They're both good characters, but they don't have the spice to them that I'm really expecting from Precure. But they're best together, fine on their own. I like them enough. They're fine. They're good leads. But Shiny Luminous, I am putting her in meh. I I don't hate her. She's just so boring. She's really just a Cure White too. Like she's just like Cure White again. Like she's demure and quiet. She's like Cure White, but less, but more boring. Cure White isn't boring. I love you, baby, because she doesn't have that interesting backstory that Cure White has. Just they never do really anything that I think is interesting with her. She's just she doesn't really do much, and she's just meh. But it's I don't feel ugh when I look at her. She's meh. And we have Cure Egret up next. I'm putting her in fine as well. I think she's good enough. She's cute. I like her. I do like her more than Black and White. Probably because I'm a really big fan of Splash Star, so Splash Star supremacy here. But she's going here. She's fine enough. But with here Bloom, I do love you. I do love Bloom. I think she's fantastic. She's just so wonderful and cute, and I love her. She's just so good. 10 out of 10. But not my faves. She does have one of the worst outfits in Precure though, but you know, it's an interesting kind of love. Then with Cure Aqua here, I'm gonna put her in meh. Because I don't totally dislike her, but I feel like a total meh when I look at her. You're gonna find as we go forward in this list that I'm really not the biggest fan of the stoic smart blues. I think they serve their purpose on their team, but ugh, they're all just kind of dull to me. And with Cure Aqua, she does I think have a lot of interesting stuff going on with her and her backstory. She also rides a horse like a prince, and I think that's a cool thing about her. But aside from that, just generic stoic blue, nothing too strong about that. And then up next we have Cure Mint. Oh god, where do I put you? I think I will also toss you in meh. Not too big on Cure Mint either. She is fine. She has one of the worst hairstyles I have ever seen, period. They just don't really do much with her either. You're gonna hear me say this later in the list. I think I even said this in my last Precure video. A lot of people are like, oh, this Precure season is just the blank show. And it's in every Precure season, pretty much all Precure seasons, there are characters that get more focus than others. It's the case for all of them. And she doesn't really get too much going on. I am sorry, Mint. But then we have Cure Dream, and I think Cure Dream is great. Oh, speaking of that, and I just talked about you two, so I shouldn't be bringing this up this late. I'm so excited that we're going to be getting another sequel to Yes 5 and also to Sky when we get to that. At least with Yes 5, we have slightly more information on that it's going to be following the girls when they're older, and I'm so excited for that. Yes, let's go. But Cure Dream, she's a great lead. I love her. She's so goofy and fun, and I am a fan. And then with Cure Rouge, she's actually my favorite from she's my favorite Cure from Yes Precure 5 Go-Go. I think she's in Yes Precure 5, same series sequels. She's my favorite. I love me a more sporty, energetic girl, and so she goes up there. And with Cure Lemonade, I'm gonna put her in fine. I know a lot of people love Cure Lemonade, and like I see the love, and she has a lot of stuff going on. But like she's fine. She's not my favorite. But with Milky Rose, I'm putting her in great. I know a lot of people do not like Milky Rose, and you guys are factually wrong. This is where I come and fight you. I love Milky Rose. She's so fun. It's like I love a mean girl character, and she is, and like she isn't a mean girl forever. But I just think she's so fun. She's so good. And also, you might be wondering, Milky Rose and Shiny Luminous, those are names. I think it's like for the first like a couple seasons of Pretty Cure, up until actually the next season. I believe Pretty Cures could only be like human girls, but they changed that. So that's why like Milky Rose and Shiny Luminous like stand so much out in their names. And they're cures. All technicalities, they're cures. And next we have Cure Pine, and you are going straight into the meh category. I just don't have any strong feelings on Pine, but I will say her outfit is like one of my favorite Pretty Cure outfits. I think it's so cute, but it's like they never really do much with her. They do set up like a lot of like interesting ideas, and she had like a couple episodes focusing on her like the beginning of Fresh, but like once our mid season is introduced, even before that, she just starts to fade into the background, and she never really does much, and she doesn't really do much to stand out. But like, I think she has a lot of interesting ideas that went for her, but like, not my favorite. And Cure Peach. Peach is going in great. I love me Peach. She's super fun. She's a great lead lover outfit. One thing you're gonna learn is I like love I love the outfits in Fresh. I think they're so cute and so good. And I like Peach. She's fun. And with Barry, toss her in fine. She's fine enough. I like a slightly more I like a character with like attitude, and she has a little attitude with it, and she's good. And with Passion, my favorite Cure from oh god, from Fresh, I like Passion. I think her redemption arc, out of like all the Cures that like who were like former villains, her redemption arc is probably like the strongest. She's just a fun, good time. I love her. I love her arc. She's super fun. They just repeat a lot of words. There's no script in this video, but yeah, she goes into great. And this tier list includes characters who are kind of like tertiary cures, or like like not appear in the main series, or like even like kind of like side cures. And here we have Dark Pretty Cure. She's a villain from Heartcatch Pretty Cure, and I think she is fine. She is fine. I think she's a very cool concept with a very cool design, but it's like, but I don't think they ever like fully took advantage of like the coolness of her story, and she was kind of just like left to suffer. I think they could have done a whole lot more with her, but they did not do that. But even then, what she did got was awesome. And then we have Cure Marine, and she goes straight to faves. I love Cure Marine. Call me an individual, because I think Cure Marine is great. She's probably tied to being my favorite Cure. I just love her so much. Just such a good, wonderful time. She's so goofy and silly and just fun, and I like a fun character. And moving up next, we have Cure Sunny. Oh no, wait. Oh no, did I forget her name? Cure Sunshine. And I do love her. I love her so much. She's going in great. Not exactly my fave, but she is great. I love her story and the show itself. How like she was a character like introduced far before she actually became a Cure. And possible transcoding is always cool as heck. You guys should watch Heartcatch Pretty Cure if you haven't, because it's the best one. And the next one is going to be Cure Bloom. Is that yeah? I'm forgetting all their names we're recording. I swear I'm a Pretty Cure fan. And she is also going up in faves. I just love them so much. Oh, she's just so fun. I just love her arc and watching her like grow because she's a flower. Do you guys get it? And also her starting out as like technically the weakest Pretty Cure ever is fun. And I wish they played around with that concept like a lot more. I like weak characters who have to like figure out smart things to like get around with that. But even then, like she's great. I love her development. I love her design. Heartcatch designs being good, am I right? But yeah, she belongs up in faves because I love her. Then we have Cure Moonlight, and she is like I'll toss her into fine too. You two together. Oh, I'm not gonna spoil anything. She's fine enough. She goes through a lot in in Heartcatch, and I feel really bad kind of putting her like below everyone else. But it's like she suffers so much. I'm so sorry, honey, but you're going there. But she's fine. And then we're going on to Sweet Pretty Cure, another one of my favorite seasons, and we're starting off with Cure Muse. And I'm gonna toss her into fine too. A lot of people really dislike Cure Muse, and honestly, like, she's fine. I think her reveal is like super fun and also like super funny. I think it's just funny, guys. It's just funny how like her reveal went. She's just a good she's good. How could you hate a face like that? But then we have Kier Beat, and she is going up into great. She is Kier Beat. She's another past another villain Kier who was redeemed, and I like that redemption arc I think a lot more than other people seem to. She's a good time. I love her. She's really fun. And then we have Cure, your Cure Melody. I often get Melody and Rhythm mixed up because like they're such similar names, and like the season kind of started off as a duo. But with her, I'm gonna toss her in great too. I think she is super fun, a great lead. I love her design too. Just again, I love her energy. Great time. And then I'm so sorry, Cure Rhythm, that I'm gonna put you like so far behind. Actually, no. I'm gonna toss her into Fine too. I do think she suffers again. I think she is a cure that suffers from like getting a lot less attention as like the series goes on because like there are two more characters with a lot more interesting backstories like going on. But like her initial like stuff that she has with Melody, it's like very fun. I love the dynamic of these two. But it's like she kind of just like gets left in the background as the series go on. So I'm sorry, girl, but you're going there. And we are going to literally the highest note because Kier Sunny goes all the way up to faves. I love Kier Sunny. She is like my favorite Kier. I love her so much. She is just a fun character to follow. I love her comedy. Her design is great. She's orange. And if you can't tell from my entire channel name is I Love Orange. And I think she like also proves that a pretty Kier doesn't need like a story arc or like have the world's deepest character in order for me to like him so much. Like to be totally honest, she's probably the pretty Kier in Smile that like has the least amount of stuff going on, the like least amount of trauma, the least amount of development. But like I don't care because she is fantastic. She's great to follow. She like works well with everyone on our team. She has like such a good comedic chemistry with everyone in the season, and it's great and it's wonderful. And she's orange, and she deserves to be that far up. And with Kier Happy, oh my god, I love the Smile Girl so much. She's going in great. Another fantastic lead. I love her so much. Wonderful, wonderful. And with Kier March, another Smile Girl, I'm gonna toss her into Fine too. I think a lot of people's like complaint with a March is firstly like her hair, which like is bad, but it's not as bad as like a Mince over here. I've actually slowly learned to like love her stupid hair. But like also a lot of people compare. I think her problem is like March and Sunny have like very similar like sporty personality types, but with her it's soccer, and with her it's oh god volleyball. But also with March she has like her family stuff going on, and I do think that is technically a lot more interesting than what than what Sunny has going on with pretty much nothing. But March never really clicked with me, but I do love March, even though I love March a whole lot. And next we got Beauty, and I do think Beauty is deserving of being in Fine too. A lot better than this blue and green duo over here. I think blue. I think blue. I think Beauty like is probably one of the best examples of like the more like stoic Cure of the more like stoic blue Cure. Because I do think she has a lot of fun stuff going on too. Like her dynamic with the rest of the team is hilarious. She legit has like tons of like funny like goober moments where she's just like stupid stuff, and like plus also her battle and like rivalry with Joker is like so good, so she deserves to be there. And with Kier Peace, she also I think she's going up in grade too. I love Peace. I think she is like the fan favorite of the season because like she's an otaku just like you, and she rates manga, and she has that tragically sad backstory. Oh my god, guys, what the heck was that episode? I'm so upset. But yeah, she goes up there, and her development is fun, and like they give her the most fun gimmicks. Like they change out her ending post like for rock paper scissors, and I think that's the funnest gimmick, and I think they should do gimmicks like that more often. And then we have Kira Rosette. She's probably my favorite Kira from oh god, what season are we on? Doki Doki, and she's going into great. She's another like rich character, which is surprising that they don't like shove being the richest character onto a blue. They shove it onto the yellow. But I think she's like such a funny concept of her like also being like violent as heck. Feral and out for blood. She will kill you, but she has to hold back wine to kill you. And they could have done a lot more. But you know, they did it. Oh well. But with what we did get of her, absolutely unhinged. I love Rosette. She's the unsung hero of Doki Doki. And then we have Curace, and I think Curace gets a lot more hate than she should, but I will put her in meh nonetheless. People like despise Curace, and I do think that the reason is kind of valid. Like they were building up a completely different character being the mid-season Cure, and having her literally appear out of nowhere was like very uncalled for, but also Pretty Cure fans, I'm gonna whisper into your ear right now. You gotta get a sense of humor because that was the funniest thing that ever happened. And even then, like she like adds really she adds like a really like interesting dynamic to the team as well. She calls out a lot of the characters like on their stuff, especially the lead. We're gonna get to you in a second, but everyone who says that you is a Mary Sue is wrong. But like she's fine, and I like her enough. She's good. And then we have Kier Sword. Oh, God, where am I gonna put you, Kier Sword? I'm gonna put you in great too. Kier Sword is fantastic. I think she is like one of the best scenes in all of Pretty Cure with her like transforming while singing. The idol like part of her personality, like I think that was like really well explored, and she's just like so interesting. Another character who just can't have bad stuff stop happening to her, but like you know, we love her nonetheless. And with Kier Hart, I'm gonna toss her into fine too. I think Kier Hart's a great lead. A lot of people like really throw the Mary Sue label at her. I think people should stop using words they don't know the definitions to, but like go off. But like she's a fun lead. She's like very heroic and like uh paragonical, but like it also like takes a toll on her, and I think that's fantastic. And she's just very fun to follow. And then we have oh god, Kier Diamond. Oh, oh, will you be the first? Will you be the first? I'm trying to think of the things I find interesting about you. Oh no, you're gonna be the first. Ugh. And again, the category does not mean I dislike this character. It's just like there's something visceral in me that just goes, ugh. And I think her dynamic with Hart is like very fun. You know, she's Hart's future husband. What are you trying to say, Pretty Cure? I wonder. But it's just like she never does too much that really like grabs my attention. Just like your generic stoic blue Cure without really any of the spice that makes me too interested in her. Oops, I'm sorry. But she goes into but again, even the characters that end up in I do not hate. I do not think they are disgusting. I do not go, oh my god, we have to follow you every time when they have an episode. It's just like, ugh. You get the vibe. No, you don't. But then up next we have Cure Princess. And Cure Princess, where do I put you, Princess? We're gonna put her in great. I think Princess is a very fun example of like a bratty character. She's just so much fun. I love following her. The real main character of Happiness Charge, am I right? But no, she's just a fun time. I like her a whole bunch. She has a lot of like fun personality stuff going on, and like a really fun backstory too. Not a fun backstory, poor girl suffers. But she has stuff going on, and I like her. And she has a fun dynamic with everyone else on the team. Take a shot every time I say fun. I am so sorry, guys. But then after Cure Fortune are found, is it Cure Fortune? Cure Fortune, I think? Oh god. Oh no, they all have names. And oh god, where do I put you? You can see I'm going between these two characters. Ugh. Ugh. You know, you're gonna win. I'm putting you in, man. I'm saving you from ugh for a little bit because I do think she has a lot of like. I do like. I like how she calls the characters out on some of their stuff. She does kind of start out as like almost and not a villain, but like kind of antagonistic towards especially Princess. But like once she joins the team, she I think she does lose a lot of that like interesting edge. But oh well. And with Cure, oh no, Cure Lovely. Yeah, you're going in fine. She's fine. I I like how violent every Happiness Charge character is. They all want blood, and she's going in fine. I love her big stupid punchies. She's a good time, but like you know she's going in fine. But Cure Honey, going straight up to faves. I love you, Cure Honey. You are so good. I don't care if like she's just like I'm gonna sing a song about rice. She is a fun character. Her design is so cute. I love her hairstyle. Her hairstyle is fantastic. I love how she just like interrupts battles with singing about rice. 10 out of 10. Wouldn't change a thing. I love how her attack is just like bombing you with another planet. She is perfection, wonderful, great. She does like fall into a thing that does seem to happen with at least a couple gallows of what do we do with her? Make her fall in love with a fairy. But like I don't care. She's so good and I love her so much. She just sparks joy every time I look at her. And then we have Cure Flora. Cure Flora is so cute, and I think I'm gonna toss her into great. Cure Flora is wonderful, fantastic, perfect. Her one of probably the best designs I think in Pretty Cure. Like she does such a good job like standing out like against other magical girls while still looking like just like elegant and great and wonderful and just ooh she is so good and I love her arc and it's just she's so fun to follow. I love her. But then we get to the rest of the girls of Go Princess. If you watch my tier list of the actual seasons of Pretty Cure that I posted a while ago, maybe a few, I don't know what time is anymore. Um, I think Go Princess, like technically speaking, like is one of the better seasons of Pretty Cure. It has like the best, like it has like consistently good like arcs and development and animation, which is something about it doesn't really click with me as much as like other Pretty Cure seasons do. And I do think that is partially because like I'm not too big on like the cures aside from like Flora and a later one. And so I'm just gonna put you both in fine. I'll put you in fine and you in meh. I just want to get you two out of the way. Like I think, oh no, Sparkle, Twinkle. No, you're Twinkle. Twinkle's fine enough, and so is Mermaid's also fine enough. But she's also just like another stoic blue. Who'd have guessed it? And with I just want to get past you. And then with Cure Scarlet, I think she's going in great as well. Another past villain who gets a redemption arc. Good times there. I think her redemption arc is really good. Very dark. This is the darkest season of Pretty Cure. All seasons of Pretty Cure have like dark moments, guys. You guys are just weird. But you're going there. And then we have Cure Felice. Cure Felice. And oh no, where are you going? Meh. You're going in meh. Sorry, girl. I don't really have like much of a reason for it. I think her design is gorgeous, but she's just meh to me. I think here, Miracle, going in fine too. I'm saving you for last, actually. And Magical, I'm also going to put in fine. With Kira Magical, I think like she was a very missed opportunity for a concept that I adore. And like she's like she's the magical one. She is not a human. She's a witch. She's from the witch dimension. She's from the witch dimension, and like her thing is like, oh, she's a bad witch. She's like not that good at magic, and I think they could have been like so many more like interesting things with that because I like writing stories in my spare time, and I think and looking at a lot of my stories, what I see in a lot of my stories, a lot of them follow characters who kind of suck at like being at stuff they do. Like they suck at magic, they suck at fighting, and it's like you could do so much cool stuff because I feel like characters who are so like, oh, they're a prodigy. I'm like, wow, okay, cool. But it's like you could have did so much more like interesting like ideas with like her just being bad at magic, and they never really capitalized on that too much. However, Buffrude, Trans Bear, is going in great. Dang Toge, I wish you had the rights for your own Pretty Cure character. I'd love to see you use her more. She is fantastic. I love her. I love her stupid design so much. Bear Girl wins. And then up next we have Kira Chocolat. And this is the worst opinion because she's going in faves. Listen, guys, I know that her entire character arc is her sister. I I do not care. Her design is so good. She shoots up right to being a favorite. I love her design. She's just so good. I love her dynamic with another character. I'll bring them up later. But like she is so good that she gets into faves on technicality because I love her design so much. And next we have Cure Gelato, and a lot of people really like Cure Gelato, and it's something that I personally don't really see. I don't really align with that too much. I'm not as crazy about Cure Gelato as like other people are, so I'm putting her in meh. Like I do like a blue who just like isn't student council president, but there are some blues who are student council presidents, but it's just like she never really clicked with me too much. Even though like oh she's rebellious, she's like the lion, she just never really again clicked with me too much. Like even stuff about her like design rubs me the wrong way. I don't know, just nothing about it really clicked with me. And this brings me a perfect time so I can complain about something very minor about her debut episode. People often clown on like, oh, why is the chocolate one the dog? Why is the singer associated with a dairy product? Why is the singer associated with ice cream? If you know anything about like theater or singing, you are always told before a performance, never have dairy because they gunk up your vocal cords. And you know what she does in her debut episode? Eats dairy, and that has made me angry ever since I saw it, and I never let her live it down. But like, she also just never does stuff that really clicks with me too much. So I'm sorry, Gelato. I know people love you. I can see why. I'm not one of your fans. But then we have Kira Parfait, and you are going straight up to great, baby. I love Kira Parfait. She is such a goober. She's so goofy, even though her eyes scare me so much. She's just a good time. I like her. And then Kira Custard. God, where do we put the autism mouse? I love her so much. She's going in great. I love her. She's just so cute. I love her design. I love her scientist. I love her being so smarty and a scientist, and she's so fun and cute. Something I can never let a la mode like overlook is like how beautiful the Alamo designs are, especially when they're all grouped together, and just her design is so cute. Then we have Kira Whip, and with Kira Whip, I'm gonna just toss her in fine. Like, she's fine enough. A lot of people like really dislike her. I never really saw that dislike. She doesn't really take up as much screen time as Field like says she does, and eh, eh, she's fine. But Kira Macaroon, you're going in faves. If it wasn't for you, you'd be my favorite Alamode. Macaroon is the weirdest character in all of Pretty Cure, and it's wonderful. She is on something else, and it's impossible to explain unless you watch the show. There's something up with this girl, and I am here for it. This girl is evil. Not evil, this girl is messed up, and I adore it so much. She just wants excitement. Girl, she is so good. Honestly, 10 out of 10 character. I want more people like her because she's so unhinged. And then we have, oh, you're Mashuri. Cure Mashuri. We're moving on to Hugto. And with Mashuri, I think I'm going to toss her into Great. I think she's a very fun, good character. I like her. I love how, like, cautious she is. She's very silly, very funny. And I think she just deserves up there to be up there. Then we have Kiriel, and with where do you go, Kiriel? I think I'm gonna put you in Great too. I love Kiriel a whole lot, and calling back to my previous Pretty Cure video, I'm always so upset that she's constantly like clowned on throughout the entire show, while the other girls get like nothing. Like, she gets more jokes, she gets occasional like jokes, but like she is just like the butt monkey of the show, and it makes me so upset. I just want my girl to have some respect, but she's great. I love her, despite it all. And then we have Cure Tomorrow, who's a tertiary cure who doesn't really appear until like the end of the show, but she's an important character. But you know what? I'm gonna toss her into meh. It never really clicks too much with me. And then we have Cure Atoll, who probably is my favorite cure from. She is my favorite cure from. Oh no, Hugto. And I'm gonna put her in grade 2. Her design is my least favorite design in the entirety of Pretty Cure. I'm gonna go on a rant about this like probably in a later video because I just like her design so much. It's not good. It's not a good look for her. But like, I like what her starting arc was, and I think she had like a lot of potential. But then like once the mid season for Hugto hit, like her and a later character really got like pushed to the back and like didn't really get to do much, which again is common for Pretty Cure, but like it really hit them hard. And then we have Cure Amor, and I have to put her next to her little buddy right here. I love her so much. Another redemption here, and I love her. She is so good. I love just. It's really hard to say without like fully spoiling stuff. Like, I do think some spoilers are like slipping out naturally, but it's like I don't really want to go too into it. But I think like her relationship with like some of the other characters, especially the characters like who used to be villains too, like is absolutely like wonderful to watch. Like, she's great. It shows a moral that we're going to talk about a bit later, where it's like you don't have to really fully forgive someone if like they've wronged you. We'll talk about this later. And then we have Cure Ange. Ugh. I'm so sorry, Ange. You're just so boring. I don't really like her too much. She's just like excessively boring to me. I am so sorry, bestie. I am so sorry. And then we have Cure Soleil, and she's jumping right up to faves too. I love Soleil. A lot of people say like Star Twinkle is like, oh, it's the Cure Milky season, and it's like, yeah, she gets a lot more focus. Like Milky and oh no, Milky and Star get like a lot of focus, but like Soleil gets like a fair amount of focus too, and a lot of that focus is pretty much just on her being like, oh, she's half Mexican, and I do want to see that like a lot more in Pretty Cure. By the way, I want to see like it is like every year Pretty Cure Pass, like Cure Soleil stands out more and more. It's like, please introduce like more dark skin cures to like your actual cast Pretty Cure. Like, in all accounts, I think Toa should have been like a dark skin cure, but like, oops, they didn't do that. I just think they should add another one. And like, they had a season that literally took place on a tropical island, and all of them are not dark skin. But it's like, but she's so good. Like, even outside of like most of her episodes just focusing on like her heritage, which I do think is very important. It's like she has like a lot of like great moments that are outside of that too. Like, she's constantly happy, and like she's a good like a really like supportive like older sister like character to other cures. And like her one of her final episodes, is it 42? It's one of like the later ones. The one where she visits the Tengu lady's planet. Like that episode made me cry because it was just so fantastic. Like she's a lot of a deeper character that people like actually give her credit for, and people should respect that more. She is wonderful. She is great, and I think Toei should try to do a better job at diversity, please. And with Kier Star, you're going in fine. I like Fan and You a lot more than Can and You. But even then, her design is cute. She's a good time. And with Milky, I have no choice but to put into great. She gets a lot of focus. She has a lot of interesting stuff going on. Fun alien, good job. With Cure, Celine, she's going in meh, meh. She's actually what like people commonly say about Soleil. Like I do think she doesn't really get too much development after, well, really since the beginning. She doesn't have too much going on. But like, oh well, she adds to the team, and they're dating. And then we have Kier Cosmos, and I think a lot of people like Kier Cosmos a lot more than I do, so she's going directly into meh. Because she has a lot of, she does have interesting stuff going on, but it never really clicks with me. And it's just like, eh, eh, meh, meh. She's meh. Okay, next up is Kier Grace. And I'm actually going to put her right into favorites. I recently did like a chart on Twitter, like listing out all my favorite Kiers, and I think I put my favorite Kier of Feeling Good as a Twinkle? No, Sparkle. She's Sparkle. But honestly, like within like the 2 weeks I've made that, I think Kier Grace has quickly shot up to being like my favorite Kier, or she's one of my favorite pinks. Like she is tied with she's tied with our Bloom over here. I think her story is fantastic. She is just so good, and I love her, and she has like such important message to tell. She has important like things to tell, like not just about like illness and taking care of yourself, but also like one of the best messages in all of Pretty Cure, which is where there is a villain character who we hate in this house, and like he has been tormenting her for a long while now, and like she has an option of like saving him or not saving him, and she's like, no. And I think I'm all for like redemption arcs. If you can't tell from like this entire tier, I do like a good redemption arc, but I do like, I have a very different opinion of redemption arcs that like most people seem to. Maybe I can make a video about that eventually, but you never know. But also I do think it is important to like also get past the part that if someone does hurt you, you don't have to forgive them. You can stay mad at them and you're still a good person. And I like how they do that with her, like so blatantly. Because even with like the person who wronged Lamore over here, like she did kind of forgive him by the end. You know, forgive him at a distance, but the distance is getting pretty closer. But with him, she's all like, but with the one who wronged Grace, she's like, I'm just going to death bomb you. You are dead now. And we love a queen like that. Cure Fountain. Ugh. Ugh. And then we have Cure Sparkle. Cure Sparkle. I'm gonna put you in great. Originally my favorite, but you know, I reconsidered. But even then, I think Sparkle is fun. I love her personality. Her fashion sense is good. Just a good one. And then we have the three girls repeated again. And then with Cure Earth. 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 What is wrong with my voice? I've been talking for a while, guys. Again, unscripted. Where do I put you, Earth? And if you can't tell, I'm hovering around the bottom. I think you're going... I'll put you into meh. Meh. As a mid-season, I think they could have done a lot more interesting stuff with her. Probably like one of the worst like introductions of a mid-season Cure. Probably in Pretty Cure. Whoever gets... At least like Cure Ace had the gall. With Cure Earth, she had nothing. And I do think, especially with like the later episodes of like Feeling Good, like they, or at least the episode like she was being introduced in, like you could really tell that because this was the season that aired like during the brunt of COVID, you could like really tell like they were struggling, because I think you can see that also with Sparkle's character, that they were going to do a lot more with her, but they didn't. Oh well, and just Earth is just kind of boring, and she should have been a green. I agree with you. All you Pretty Cure green Pretty Cure lovers, I agree with you. She should have been green. And then we're moving on to Delicious Party. Where do we put you, Precious? I think Precious is precious, and she's going into great. A lot of people are very upset. People get upset at Pretty Cure a lot, and it's very weird to see sometimes. But I think Precious is great. I love her. She's a Cure with a pretty flat like character arc. She doesn't really have like too much going on compared to a lot of the other characters. But like even then, like I think she's a fun lead, and her just the moments she has, like the final few episodes of like Delicious Party, are so good. I think like Delicious Party has one of my favorite like endings in all of Pretty Cure. and that's like rivaling up to Mahoskai. Like I think Mahoskai and Delicious Party like might be kind of rival. I think Mahoskai actually does jump it out with like being the best ending for Pretty Cure, but it's like the Delicious Party ending is so good, guys. Who knew a series about food could make me cry so much? And I do think Precious, despite being a pretty fly character, like she constantly like just brings the goods. She's just so cute and fun, and she's so upbeat to watch. Delicious Party has a very fun cast, despite like the lack of plot. A lot of people say, "Oh, most of the seasons have a lack of plot, guys. Come on." We were complaining about Smile's lack of plot. But then up next we have Cure Spacey, and she's going into faves. My one rule break: she is a more stoic Blue Cure, but for some reason she does it right. I just think I love the arc that she has, or like her isolation, or another like constantly like good messages she has in like all of her episodes. Like it's okay. She's so good. I just can't like put into words how much I adore this character. She's in like it surprised me. It's like, oh my god, a stoic rich blue character that I like and not like adore. She's great, and she goes into faves. And then up next we have Yum Yum. I think Yum Yum is she didn't get too much development either. I'm trying to think. I do think she's a very funny character. You know what? I'll toss her into fine. I do love Yum Yum. I think her dynamic with the rest of the cast like is very fun. She's great. I get it. I don't think I said it before. The fine character are characters that I love too. I love all these characters. And then with Cure Finale, I think you were going into great. I'm gonna toss you into great too. With Finale, I think it's very interesting with Finale because she's a other Cure who got a redemption arc, and I think they did a very bad job building her up like as a villain before giving her a redemption. It's weird, like with characters like with especially with Scarlet. Like I think Scarlet is like the pinnacle of like doing a Cure with a redemption arc. With like Scarlet beat wait, no, Scarlet Passion. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Passion beat oh no, who else? Scarlet. There you are. And like a Lamore, like they did a good job of building these characters like up as villains. Like you constantly saw them. You kind of got their deal. You kind of got like maybe this deal wasn't their deal too much, or like maybe their backstory stuff. I was like her. I never got like a sense of like who she was before she was a villain because like she was brainwashed into being like someone on the villain. She was brainwashed into being a villain, and like you never really got that she was like too dissatisfied with that brainwashing like before she got a redemption. So like I think her villain part was like not well laid out, but her redemption like the post her becoming a Pretty Cure, I think is fantastic. But like they didn't write it for the arc she had before she was a Pretty Cure, but like after it, like it was really good. Like they had an episode where it was like it's okay that you're still mad at the people who brainwashed you, and it's like they had like I wish that the beginning of her I wish her villain arc was just as good as her post villain arc. And I'm rambling now because it's so hard to put into words. But like I think you got a lot of good messages too. And then we're actually moving on to our newest season. Actually, no, I think I'll save you guys for last because I see our Tropical Rouge girl smiling right here. With Cure Summer, I think with Cure Summer, I'm going to toss her into great. I love Summer. She's a fun character. I'm a Tropical Rouge stan, if you will. I enjoy it a whole bunch. I think she's a fun character. And, you know, sometimes that's all you need. And then we have Cure Coral. And with Cure Coral, I'm going to toss her into fine. Tropical Rouge is another season that often gets like it's just the blank show in this case. It's just the Lemur show, which yeah, Lemur does get like the most focus. And I do think a lot of the other Cures like don't get much as focus, but Lemur I think is the most interesting character with like the most development she needs to. But I do think Coral like does suffer the most when it comes to like episodes that just aren't really focused on her. But I do love her nonetheless. I do think she's a great character from like what we get to see with her. She also has like such a cute design too. I love it so much. But I'm putting her in fine. And then Cure Papaya. With Cure Papaya, I'll toss her into fine too. Like she's fine enough as well. I love me a dorky character. She's a good time. I'm a fan. And with Cure Flamingo, oh my god, I love you, Cure Flamingo. You're going into faves. I like just adore Cure Flamingo a whole bunch. I love a more delinquent character. I like it when Cures are like teamed up with like older characters. And she's just like a fun, more delinquently like older character who like has a dark past, and she's so much fun, and I just love her. I just love a bruiser. And then we have Kira Lemur, And Lemaire is going into great too. Again, she's the Cure who gets like, or just the character in general who does get like the most focus in Tropical Rouge. But I don't think that's a problem because she's a very fun character to focus on. She's like bratty, like a queen. She wants to be a queen. She wants to take over, and she's just so much fun, guys. Like even if she does get like a lot of focus, how could you hate focusing on her? She's very funny. And then we're moving on to actually no, let's do Echo. And with Echo, Echo is actually a pretty Cure who's exclusive to the movies and specifically the crossover movies. And I think I'm just going to toss her into meh, because I don't have strong opinions on Echo, to be totally honest with all of you. A lot of people despise Echo, and a lot of people love Echo. And I can see why people like dislike Echo, because she was introduced in a crossover Pretty Cure movie, and pretty much with me too, I agree with this as well, is I go to the Pretty Cure crossover movies to see the Pretty Cures like interact with each other. I don't really go to see the adventures of some new girl. But even then, like a lot of people have a despise for this character who frankly just like I don't think has the world's most like interesting personality or even like least interesting personality. Eh, it's like she's fine. She only appears in like a couple movies. That's about it. And then we have our new one moving on to our newest season with oh god, Hirogaru Sky Pretty here. And because again this is the newest season, pretty much when recording this, the most recent episode was the one who introduced this wonderful little boy's transformation. I don't have like a full picture on all the cures, so this tier list will change. It's changing in my brain right now when I'm looking at it. But let's start with Cure Prism. And Cure Prism is super fun so far, and also these characters don't have like too much development like at this point, so things could change. My opinions could change. But I will put her in great so far because I am loving her so much so far. She is very goofy and fun. She's probably the most like normal person in the cast so far, but like she has so many like fun interactions with Sky. We're gonna talk about you later. And she's just fun, but a lot of Pretty Cure fans are already complaining. It's like, oh, she's getting no development. I'm like, guys, we're on episode 9. We're not gonna get too much development for her just yet. I'm sorry, we're still introducing all the other cures, but she's going in great because I love her so far. And with Cure Wing, also, Cure Wing is the first. I'm gonna leave you down here for now, so I can leave it as a surprise. He is the first, like male Pretty Cure, and a lot of people like bring up, oh, what about Black Pepper? What about Cure Waffle? What about Cure Infinity? I'm gonna say, Cure Waffle is not a character. Pecoro never became a Pretty Cure. That's just a fan name you had for him. I would have liked a Cure Waffle too, but frankly, he's not a Pretty Cure. And even with Black Pepper, like a lot of people are like, oh, what about the exception? Because like Shiny Luminous and Milky Rose, like they don't have the Pretty Cure name either. But it's like, yeah, but they're like involved with the team. They get to like join their transformation sequences and like hang out with the girls. But with Black Pepper, I think one of the biggest uh like problems that he had is he never really got to like interact with any of like the girls aside from Precious and even Finale. And I think having him like maybe reveal his secret identity to the girls like earlier in the season and not like the last 5 episodes would have been a lot better for his character. And just like made me consider him a cure instead of just a helper. Like he is an honorary cure, but like he is not a cure. And like with Cure Infinity, it's like, yeah, he's a boy cure. He appeared for 5 minutes, like hardly even that. Like he's not part of the main cast. Like he does not count as a Pretty Cure. He appeared for a couple episodes. I'm sorry, guys, but Cure Wing, he gets the treatment, and I love Cure Wing so much. He's going in faves. I love him so much already. Firstly, he's orange. I love his cute little outfit. He is so adorable. I love his passion for flight and just his backstory already made me fall in love. And like his debut episode is so good. Just he's baby, and I want to see him grow up so much. I just want to see him succeed, and I love him. Ooh, okay. Now we got Cure Butterfly. Oh, this is gonna be so hard for me because I think everyone. Oh no! So we actually aren't introduced to Cure Butterfly yet. Um, we're not introduced to Cure Butterfly yet, and we've met Aga. I think that's her civilian name, and I love her so much so far. I love that she's like technically speaking the first adult Cure. I think Cure Earth is also an adult Cure, but circumstances. But like she's the like one of the first adult cures on the main team, and I love that. I love how much Hirogawa is like shaking things up already. And I just love her personality so far. I love how she's a teacher. I can't wait for her to get more development. But for now, I can really only put her into great because we don't know too much about her so far. But honestly, she might be on track for becoming like my favorite Precure if like we keep on getting the quality we have so far. Like she seems fantastic, and I can't wait to get to know her more. Actually, no, you're going in faves already. You're going in faves already, bestie. I love you before even knowing you. Your vibes are immaculate. And then with Cure Sky, she's also going into faves. Let's go. Cure Sky is great. What else can I say? Wonderful, perfect, never done before. I love how we have a blue as a lead. She is just great. I love her personality. I love a hero girl. I can't wait to see her develop more. And again, with these three, like, and even with Mashro down, even Mashro down here, like they'll probably all move around as the season like continues. Because again, I think we're all only like 9 episodes into Hirogaru, but I'm loving it so much so far. So guys, that's it. That is my tier list for all the cures, technically all the cures, and Pretty Cure with a few segmental like different ones. But yeah, there we are. Where do you disagree with me? Where do you agree with me? Um, are you guys enjoying the newest season of Pretty Cure? Please talk to me about it. I love Pretty Cure. Thank you so much for watching this video, and you guys have a lovely night.